Good evening and welcome to Network Sales Kitzur, Daily Kitzur Shulchan Share. Today we are continuing. We're just going to finish off Dinei Yeshiva Sukkah, which is Siman Kuflamet Hay, and even the Sukkahs are not finished. And just note to point out that although it says we're starting with Siman Sif Hay, actually we did Sif Hay last time, so starting with Sif Vav tonight. When many people are eating one sukkah together, and there are also women there, and other members of various families, and all of whom need to hear Kiddush properly in order to be yotze with the Kiddush that the fathers are making. If all the fathers will say are making Kiddush at the same time, then we have a principle, that two voices at the same time can't be heard properly. And they won't hear Kiddush properly. Okay, therefore it's better that they should make Kiddush one after the other. But if they do make Kiddush all at the same time, for example, they might do that if there's no one there who actually needs to hear Kiddush. If one of them was a bit quicker and he made the bracha of Ropi Agofin or some other bracha first, only afterwards his friend finished, then the first one shouldn't answer Amen after the bracha of the second one. Mishum the Amen have a hefset between brachas Ropi Agofin and Shia, because his saying Amen is a hefset between him making the first person making the Ropi Agofin and him drinking the wine. So if he's drunk the wine, then he can make the Amen. But and people have the custom that there's lots of people making Kiddush, then they'll all wait for each other to finish and they'll say Amen before they drink the wine, which is not correct. Rather, they should say it at the same time and finish at the same time and not say Amen. In the other nights of Sukkot, so not the first 2 nights, and also during the daytimes, there's no obligation to eat in the Sukkah. The only point is that if he wants to eat a proper meal or to sleep, then he has to eat or sleep in the Sukkah. And what is considered a proper food, proper eating, that's pas yosef mikabetza, bread more mikabetza, even if he doesn't sit down for a proper meal, but he eats that much bread, he has to eat in the Sukkah. Even if it's bread, which we'll call mazonos bread. Even cooked food, which is made from the 5 grains, yosef mikabetza, if it's more than a kabetza, and he's having it as a proper meal, he has to eat it in the Sukkah, and he makes the bracha of Leishev Sukkah. But fruits, even if he eats lots of fruits and he sits down to a full meal with those fruits, he can eat those outside the Sukkah. Similarly, wine or shalmach and other drinks, or basa or gavina or meat or cheese, he can eat them and drink them outside the Sukkah. But only if he has not having them as a fixed meal, full meal. If he wants to sit down to drink wine or other drinks in like a fixed way, like a full meal, or he wants to eat meat or cheese, again in a way that's more like a fixed meal, then he has to eat in the Sukkah. But he shouldn't make the bracha of Leishev Sukkah on them. And therefore it's better that he eats, before he eats the cheese or the wine, let's say, he eats a bit of bread in order that he can make the bracha of Leishev Sukkah. Because it's medina, that's all me'ikah hadin. Someone who's more stringent on himself, that he won't even drink water outside the Sukkah, then he is praised. So Shena, when it comes to sleeping, even if it's only a temporary nap, then really he requires a Sukkah. And those who are particularly mitzvahs, they do this. They won't even have temporary sleeps like us, naps outside the Sukkah. But outside nowadays, when many people are more lenient when it comes to sleeping, the Acharonim have written many reasons to try and justify that action that people are more maker when it comes to sleeping in the Sukkah. But anyone who fears heaven, it's appropriate that he should be strict and to make a Sukkah that he's able to live there with his wife, the same way as he lives in his house the whole year, if it's possible. At the very least, he should be able to sleep there at least by himself. And if he isn't such a Sukkah, keeps it up. Even if he did do it, it's a possible sukkah if he can't sleep. Sif test. Yodu geshomim potter on a sukkah. If it rains, then you're potter from the sukkah. But is a geshomim potter, and how much does it have to rain before you're potter? So im yodu kol kach, if there's so much rain, she mishah sheim hoyim noplim kach sukkah tav shehoyim is kalkal. And he so much rain that he realizes that if that much rain would fall into his food, then it would ruin the food. I feel it in the front of a tafshel, then he's potter even if there's no actual food in front of him. That's just to measure the food, the rain that's required. Or he works out, but if it was in his house and that much water was falling into his house, he would leave there to go to a different room. Then in those circumstances, you also leave the sukkah for the house. And if he started eating in the sukkah, then it started raining. Therefore, he goes into his house. And then he starts eating in the house. Or it was raining to begin with, so he started eating in the house. In either case, the rain stops. So he either started in the house, or he started in sukkah, then gone in the house, and now the rain has stopped. He should finish his meal in the house, and he is not required to go in the middle of his meal from his house to his sukkah. Similarly, when it's very cold, and the food is congealing and getting ruined inside the sukkah, he is exempt from the sukkah and he should eat in his house. Sifyud. The Indian Shena Basukah, as far as sleeping in the sukkah is concerned, even a small amount of rain is considered distressful for sleeping, and he's allowed to leave the sukkah. And if he's left his house to sleep, and he's laid down and he's already gone to sleep, then the rain stops. Originally he started sleeping in his house because it was raining, and then the rain stopped. We do not bother him, then have to get up and go to the sukkah for the rest of the night. And the whole night, till the morning, he sleeps in his house. See if you done it. If someone is potted in the sukkah, and he does not leave his sukkah, he's called a hedget, a normal sort of person. And he does not receive any reward for that. And he's not even allowed to make a bracha. Because it would be a bracha levatala since he's not mechuyev to sit in the sukkah. And when you do leave the sukkah because of the rain, he shouldn't sort of kick out of his sukkah and leave. He should go out with a sort of submissive nature, have in mind like a servant who pours out a cup for his master to drink, but and instead his master poured the water or the drink back in his face.